I only married you because it was convenient." The words hung in the air of Dr. Chen's office like a grenade with the pin pulled. My wife didn't flinch, didn't backtrack, just sat there on that beige couch, arms crossed, waiting for my reaction. I smiled, pulled out my phone, started typing. Dr. Chen cleared her throat. Let's unpack that statement, shall we? I'm 42, been married for 9 years, sitting in couples counseling because my wife, Amanda, decided our marriage needed professional intervention. I thought we were here to work on communication. Turns out, I was here to get stabbed in the chest with the truth. "What are you doing?" Amanda asked, eyeing my phone. "Taking notes," I said calmly. "You said something important. I want to remember it exactly." Her face twitched. Just barely, but I saw it. Dr. Chen shifted in her chair. "I appreciate that you're engaged in the process, but perhaps we should focus on—" "No, let her finish," I interrupted, still typing. "Amanda, you were saying?" "About convenience." Amanda's jaw tightened. This wasn't going how she expected. She'd probably rehearsed this moment. Imagine me breaking down, begging for answers. Instead, I was documenting. "I mean exactly what I said," she continued, regaining her composure. "When we met, I was 30. My mom was sick. I needed health insurance for her, and your job had the best plan. You were available. Available. Like a rental car." "Interesting," I said, thumbs still moving across the screen. "And the wedding? The vows? The 9 years of sleeping in the same bed?" She shrugged. "We were compatible enough. It worked." Dr. Chen looked genuinely uncomfortable now. "Amanda, I think what you're expressing is a common feeling of—" "It's fine, doctor," I said, looking up from my phone. "She's being honest." "Finally. I respect that." Amanda blinked. "You respect it?" "Absolutely. Honesty is the foundation of any good relationship, even one built on convenience." I hit save on my notes. What else should I know? The session continued for another 40 minutes. Amanda, emboldened by my lack of emotional reaction, kept digging. She told Dr. Chun about how she'd never really been attracted to me, how she stayed because I was safe and stable, how she'd been thinking about this for years. I took notes on all of it. When we left, Amanda seemed lighter, unburdened, like she'd finally said what she needed to say. I opened the car door for her, just like always. "You're taking this really well," she said as we drove home. "What's there to take badly? You shared your truth. I'm listening." She studied my face. "You're not upset? Would you prefer I was?" She didn't answer, just stared out the window. That night, I slept in the guest room. Not because she asked me to, but because I wanted to. Needed to think clearly. The thing about being married to someone for 9 years is you learn their patterns, their tells. Amanda wasn't cruel by nature. She was calculating, strategic, and she'd just played what she thought was her ace card. What she didn't know was that I'd been expecting something like this for about 6 months. It started small. Coming home later. New clothes. A password on her phone where there hadn't been one before. Classic signs that relationship advice columns love to dissect. But I'm not the type to confront without evidence. I'm a project manager. I deal in data, timelines, and contingency plans. So I'd waited, watched, and now, in therapy of all places, she'd handed me exactly what I needed. The next morning, I made coffee for both of us. Set hers on the counter with cream and 2 sugars, exactly how she liked it. "Thank you," she said, surprised. "Of course. About yesterday. Water under the bridge," I said. "You were honest. That's what therapy is for, right?" She relaxed. "Right. I was worried you'd be angry." "Why would I be angry at honesty?" Over the next week, I was the model husband. Cooked dinner. Cleaned the house. Asked about her day. Didn't mention the session once. Amanda grew comfortable. Started staying out later again. Came home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. I didn't say a word. Just kept being pleasant. Agreeable. Meanwhile, I had 3 consultations with divorce attorneys. Picked the best one. Started documenting everything. Finances, assets, that lovely confession from therapy. See, here's what Amanda didn't understand about convenience. It cuts both ways. 2 weeks after the therapy session, Amanda came home around midnight. I was watching TV in the living room. "Hey," she said, dropping her purse. "Didn't expect you to be up. Couldn't sleep. How was your night?" "Fine. Just drinks with Melissa." Melissa, her coworker. The same coworker she'd mentioned exactly 3 times in 9 years until about 7 months ago. "That's nice," I said. "Actually, can we talk for a minute?" She tensed. "About what?" "Our future. Have a seat." She sat slowly, like she was approaching a wild animal. I turned off the TV. So, I've been thinking about what you said in therapy. About marrying me because it was convenient. Look, I was just... No, you were right. I leaned forward, and I realized something. Staying married to you is no longer convenient for me. The color drained from her face. What? I filed for divorce. You'll be served papers tomorrow at work. I figured you'd prefer that to here at home, but if you'd rather I call the process server and have them come here instead, I can do that. She stood up. You're joking. Do I look like I'm joking? But we were working on things. Therapy. You've been so pleasant. Accommodating? Yes. Well, that's because I was taking your advice. You taught me something valuable, Amanda. Sometimes the most convenient choice is the smart one. And divorcing you is extremely convenient for me right now. You can't just... Actually, I can. And I am. I've already moved half my clothes to my brother's place. I'll be out by this weekend. The house is in my name. I bought it 2 years before we met, so you'll need to find somewhere to go. I'm giving you 30 days, which is more than generous. She was shaking now. This is insane. Over one comment in therapy. Oh, it's not about one comment. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to my notes. Let me read back what you said. I only married you because it was convenient. I needed health insurance for my mom. You were available. Should I continue? I have quite a bit here. You're using therapy against me? I'm using your own words. There's a difference. You wanted honesty in our relationship. Congratulations. You got it. She started crying. Real tears, not the manipulative kind. Please. I didn't mean it like that. I was angry. Frustrated. We can fix this. Here's the thing, Amanda. I don't want to fix it. You were right. We were convenient for each other. Past tense. That convenience has expired. Like milk. Like health insurance. Like whatever the hell this marriage was. What about Dr. Chin? Our next session? Cancel it. Send her my regards. She grabbed my arm. Wait. Just wait. Let's talk about this. I gently removed her hand. We did talk. 2 weeks ago. You said everything I needed to hear. I'm just acting on it now. It's called being proactive. You used to say you appreciated that about me. She didn't sleep that night. I heard her pacing, crying, making phone calls. I slept like a baby in the guest room. The next day, I worked from home. Waited. Around 2 p.m., my phone rang. Amanda, you actually did it, she said. I got served at work. In front of everyone. I told you I would. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was? Probably about as humiliating as finding out your wife married you for health insurance. But hey, at least you have Melissa to comfort you. Or is it Derek from accounting? I honestly stopped keeping track. Silence. How long have you known? She finally asked. Does it matter? Yes. 6 months, give or take. I'm thorough, Amanda. You should remember that. I don't make moves without all the information. So this whole time, you've been planning this. No. This whole time, I've been trying to decide if our marriage was worth saving. You answered that question for me in therapy. I should probably send Dr. Chen a thank you card. More silence. This isn't you, she said quietly. You're a good person. You don't do things like this. You're right. The old me didn't. The me who thought his wife loved him, who thought 9 years meant something. That guy would have fought for this. Would have asked what was wrong, what he could fix. But that guy learned an important lesson about convenience. Sometimes you have to cut your losses. I want to fight the divorce. You can try. I make 3 times what you do. I own the house outright, and we have no kids. Plus, I have your therapy confession recorded. You recorded the session? Audio memo app. It was running in my pocket the whole time. Dr. Chin's office has a one-party consent policy posted right on the wall. I checked. I could hear her breathing on the other end. Fast. Panicked. Why are you doing this? She whispered. Because you taught me something valuable. Actions have consequences. Words matter. And sometimes, the most convenient thing to do is walk away from something that was never real in the first place. I hung up. Over the next month, Amanda tried everything. Showed up at my brother's place crying. Sent long emails about how she'd been confused, scared, didn't know what she was saying. Her lawyer reached out multiple times trying to negotiate. I didn't budge. My lawyer was efficient. We had the assets divided within 6 weeks. The house stayed mine. Amanda got half of the savings, still a substantial amount, but nowhere near what she'd hoped for. She tried one last time, showed up at my office. Please, she said. I made a mistake. One stupid comment. Don't throw away 9 years over that. I looked at her. Really looked at her. She'd lost weight. Had circles under her eyes. Looked genuinely devastated. Amanda, I said calmly. You didn't throw away 9 years over one comment. You threw away 9 years the moment you decided I was just a convenient option. The moment you decided our marriage was a transaction instead of a partnership. I'm just the one who had the clarity to acknowledge it. I loved you. I do love you. No, you love the convenience, the stability, the insurance plan. You said it yourself. And you know what? I don't even blame you for that. We all make choices based on what we need at the time. But I'm making a different choice now, which is choosing myself. Turns out, that's pretty convenient too. The divorce was finalized 3 months after that therapy session. Quickest one my lawyer had ever handled, she said. I bought new furniture for the house, repainted the bedroom, started going to the gym, joined a cooking class, found out through mutual friends that Amanda had moved in with someone, some guy from her office. They looked happy in the photos on social media. Good for her. Genuinely. About 6 months after everything was finalized, Dr. Chin's office sent me a survey about my therapy experience. There was a comment section at the end. I wrote, very effective. Got exactly what I needed out of it. Would recommend. Because here's the truth. Amanda thought therapy would fix us. Would make me see how the marriage wasn't working and help us navigate to some new normal where she could have her cake and eat it too. Instead, it showed me exactly who she was. Gave me the words I needed to hear, in her own voice, with no ambiguity. And I used those words perfectly, not to hurt her, not for revenge, but to set myself free. A year later, I'm sitting in a coffee shop, different one than Amanda and I used to go to. I've got a book in front of me, but I'm not really reading, just people watching, thinking. My phone buzzes. Text from a woman I've been seeing for about 2 months. Nothing serious yet, but she makes me laugh. Actually laugh, not the polite chuckle I gave Amanda for years. The text says, still on for tonight? Fair warning, I'm terrible at mini golf. I smile. Type back, perfect. I'm terrible at it too. As I hit send, I think about convenience. About how we use that word to describe everything from marriages to microwave dinners. How something being convenient doesn't make it good, doesn't make it right. Amanda taught me that. She also taught me that sometimes the best thing you can do is take someone at their word. Don't interpret. Don't rationalize. Don't excuse. Just listen, document, and act accordingly. I finish my coffee, grab my jacket, and head out into the afternoon sun. Somewhere across town, Amanda is probably living her convenient life with her convenient partner in their convenient arrangement. And me? I'm done with convenient. I'm looking for something real. And for the first time in 9 years, I actually believe I might find it. Because I finally learned the most important lesson. The only person who needs to find you convenient is yourself. Everyone else needs to find you essential. And I'm never settling for less than that again. Not for health insurance. Not for stability. Not for anything.